check, 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate? Yes! Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need. Get over the fear and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello, everybody. Michael Quarles with the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Today is podcast episode, 263. We have 5 questions. I'm going to jump in, get through them, and remember, if you have a question, send it to support@michaelquarles.com. Here we go. Question number 1. Seller has a piece of land that is listed with a broker that has been listed with a broker for almost a year. He contacts me from a yellow letter I sent. Boy, those yellow letters work great. Man, I know this company, and they work so great. I asked when the listing expires. He tells me in 2 months. I don't want to develop a bad relationship with any brokers because I'm finishing getting my real estate license. I have an interested buyer, builder, but I'm not sure how or if I can go into the contract while he's listed. Well, okay, here we go. Let's start backwards. The fact that you're unsure if you can tells me we need to work on our ethics a little bit, because this should not even be a question. If someone is contracted with somebody else and you think and you question whether or not you can, well, we need to have a long talk and careful consideration on whether or not you really want to be a realtor or investor, because it's just not right. There's no question here. If he's listed, you can't talk to him. Now, can you legally talk to him? Absolutely. But we're not talking legal stuff here. We're talking whether it's fair. And if this is the way you want to be treated by other people in your industry, well, then you go right ahead, dance down that road, and just be unethical and immoral. But if you want to be treated fairly, then reconsider your opinion or your position, and don't even consider asking this question. It's a no answer. Now, step back up a little bit. I don't want to develop a bad relationship. Well, that shouldn't be the reason you say you don't want to. The reason should be because it's not right. Now, if it's been listed for almost a year, it expires in 2 months. You know what I'd do? I'd say if it becomes unlisted, please give me a call. We'll set a time for me to come out and buy it. In the meantime, congratulations and good luck on selling. I'm not going to even talk to the guy about trying to buy. Not going to do it, not going to do it, not going to do it. And you know what? You're kind of acting like a real estate agent without a license, if you ask me, because you said you had an interested buyer builder. But you also said you don't have a real estate license yet. So be very, very careful. I'd be going back to school, learning the real estate laws a little bit more in my state. That's all I got to say on that one. Question number 2. I recently found a multi-unit that was recently boarded up. So I looked it up on tax records, and it showed it's going to auction. How should I proceed? Well, depends on when it's going to auction. I guess you could buy it at auction if you want. But you know what? We just got back from an auction just a few days ago, and they were selling that stuff. Let's get this, guys and gals. They were selling it for a humongous prices. People were getting there, going there, being there, and they were getting all emotional and buying stuff for overvalue or over investor value. I mean, when you're above 70% ARV, not 70% as is, you're paying too much. And the properties at auction is just like that. People get, emotional because, I want it. No, I want it. No, I want it. I want it. He can't win. They're watching those stupid, what are they? The sitcoms where everybody's competing against each other, and they just get all caught up in that stuff. But how do you proceed? You could buy it at auction. You can overpay for auction. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe you pay a good price for it at auction. You could call the trustee on the foreclosure or the attorney on the foreclosure, see if it can be postponed so you can buy it. Who knows? Okay, do you even know who the owner is? Because you can't buy it from the trustee or from the lender. You got to buy it from the owner. But the trustee and the lender are the ones that stop the foreclosure proceeding. Maybe you just go buy one that you can buy. Spend all your energy on doing something that's actually productive. That's what I'd do.
Thanks for listening. We'll be right back. Are you running out of leads? It's time you tried Yellow Letters at yellowletters.com. Get motivated seller leads through yellow letters, postcards, zip letters, typed professional letters, greeting cards, door hangers, and business cards. Yellow Letters is a full-service marketing company created with your success in mind. Get the personal attention you need to get your direct mail campaign started and get in touch at yellowletters.com.
And we are back in 3, 2, 1.
Question number 3. I keep getting leads from sellers, and it seems like they are all underwater on their mortgage. Is there anything I can do to get these leads and not just let them go? Well, if you want to do short sales. I'm not big on short sales today because we have so many equity owners out there today. 5 years, 7 years ago, we did a lot of short sales because we had very few people that had equity. But now we have a lot of people that have equity, so there's not a lot of reason to go after the shorts because you have to understand something on the shorts. One, the lenders are smarter than they used to be. Secondly, it takes about 4 deals to get a deal done. And then there's so many deed restrictions that, boy, it's really tough. Unless you're a cash buyer and you can hold on to that property for 90 days and then flip it and fix it all up kind of stuff. If you're a fix and flipper, I don't think there's probably anything wrong with the short business as long as you can get it for a good price. And in my world, I always want something wrong with the house, a situation with the house. So I don't want to buy a short that's like pretty. There's really nothing wrong with it. I want to buy a short where there's been some violence in it, there's been some major damage in it, that kind of stuff. Because then the lender's willing to reduce the sales price to get it sold, get it off their book. Because they don't want houses like that. I bought a house with a double homicide, all kinds of stuff like that. So they don't want those things. Question number 4. Any advice or tips on how to deal with a condemned home? Yeah, just call your county. Find out why it was condemned. And, it's maybe if it's a teardown, here's a secret on teardowns, guys and gals. If you have a teardown, you don't get a bulldozer. Don't go get a bulldozer and tear it down. You decide what you're going to do to it, whether you're gonna tear it down, rebuild it, or you're going to sell it to somebody that's going to do that. But you don't want to tear it down immediately or get rid of it immediately because in a lot of areas, if you tear it down, you have 6 months to rebuild it without having to pay all the new permit fees and the new the tax fees and all that kind of stuff. So you have sewer and water fees, you have school fees and all that kind of good stuff that if it's within the 6 month period, you don't have to pay it again. But if it's like 7 months or more, then you got to pay for it again, and that stuff gets expensive. But so let's assume for a second you're going to buy the property, you're going to tear it down and build it back again. Here's what you do. You call your fire department. Don't start a fire. You're going to call your fire department before a fire. All right? So don't go be lighting your building on fire. You're going to call the fire department, and you're going to donate your structure to burn training. So they need houses to train on for the new firemen, firewomen. And they love it. So they'll come out on a train day, they'll light that thing on fire, they'll train themselves on how to put it out, and you have a house that's been burnt down. A lot less expensive than a bulldozer. Yeah, you got to get a tractor out there, take the foundation out, and that's no big deal. But man, it's an easy way to get rid of a house that's condemned and that sort of stuff. But start with the county, see why it was condemned. If it's a tear down, find your buyer, decide what you're going to do. Make sure that's within the 6 month period. Get the fire department to come out and burn it down for you. Question number 5. If you purchase a tax lien certificate and the property is vacant, do you have any rights to rent it or only to physically secure it? Yeah, I don't know anything about tax lien certificates. Sorry. I don't go into, see, I kind of feel a little silly right now because I just said I don't know. I just don't know. And the reason I don't know is because I like buying houses from sellers that have equity, or in some occasions, they're shorts. I'm not trying to chase this phantom thing, these late night infomercials that you see and you go, oh man, I could buy a house for $12. Well, you know that saying, if it's just too good to be true, just maybe it isn't true. Well, I like a business that can be run on purpose. I know if I set a marketing budget in place and I set systemization in place for lead generation, lead capture, lead fulfillment, and they're normal, like they're in abundance, they're not special, then I know I can have a business today and I have a business tomorrow and I can have a business in 10 years from today. And I know if I do this correctly, I can be here, I can be there, I can be anywhere, and I can still buy houses. I don't want to go after these little specialty things because it requires special, and I just want normal. And I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but that's why. But yeah, if you purchase a tax lien certificate, whoever you thought, whoever told you that was a great idea, call them, because I don't know. Thank you guys so much. It's always fun to do these things, and I hope you guys enjoy them. And if you need me, reach out to me, and I'll try to help as much as I can. No commercials today about my coaching program. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.